What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk to you about something really important. Actually, in my opinion, the most important thing that separates people who have a lot of success versus absolutely no success. And this is literally the only thing that separates success from nothing. And what that is the ability to take action. What do I mean by that? I mean, the difference between getting nowhere and getting everywhere is taking action and taking action fast. So when you're thinking about doing something, we're all programmed to think about it and hopefully let our minds take over and let our fears and our doubts, convince us to keep doing the same things we're doing. But if you guys want something different, you can't keep doing the same things. I want to give you guys an example of one time in my life when I took immediate action and it paid off massively. And maybe you guys can kind of get a similar feel for it. So before I got into drop shipping, I had a long background throwing events and then getting into the startup space. And then most recently, before drop shipping, was actually going out to China and finding viral products, importing them to the US, selling to retailers, selling on Shopify, selling on Amazon, and overall just like hustling these products. And it was good, and we did millions of dollars in revenue, and we profited a few $100,000, but I was working so hard. I was working 14, 15, sometimes 16 hours a day. I was traveling all the time to different events. I was dealing with retailers. I was getting dragged in all these different directions. I was wiring money to China, waiting 60 to 90 days to get our inventory just to find out some of it wasn't good, and running into all these different issues, and it was all part of the learning process. However, there was one night at the end of a trade show. I was there, it was in Dallas, Texas, and I was there for 3 days in a row. And we were at a trade show selling our product to retailers. And it was the third day. We had worked literally probably close to 50 hours in 3 days, maybe more. And I was exhausted. It was midnight, and I had a flight the next day at 7 a.m. And I was about to go to sleep, and I get a notification on my phone, and it was email from somebody that said, how to sell products without ever seeing or touching inventory. And of course, as you guys know, that's what dropshipping is. But at the time, I wasn't even familiar with dropshipping. But to me, it baffled my mind. I was like, how can you sell products without seeing or touching inventory? Like, inventory is everything to me. I'm importing products, I'm holding them at our warehouse, I'm physically putting them in boxes and shipping them out. And to me, I was fascinated, so of course I clicked the link. And it was midnight, and I was tired, and I had a flight at 7 o'clock in the morning, which means I had to be about 4:30, I had to be at the airport by 5:30, and it was, I didn't have much time to sleep. But I was so intrigued by this title that I figured I have to watch this video now because I'm gonna get home tomorrow, I'm gonna get into my routine again, I'm gonna forget about that email, I'm gonna talk to someone else, my brain's gonna tell me it's not even worth it, and it's never gonna happen. So I took action right then and there, and I watched this webinar. And this webinar was so fascinating to me that I learned exactly how to dropship. I learned the system, and I was like, this is incredible. So I was so excited, and again, I was like, I can't wait, I can't get back home and wait, and then, get back into my routine and send out all my purchase orders and follow up with them from the trade show, and then, start meal prepping and getting into regular everyday life, and then, this is just gonna be another thing that slips through the cracks. I was so excited that I actually went to the airport the next morning, 2 hours early. I got there at a little bit before 4 o'clock in the morning, and I started building my dropshipping site right then and there. I went online, I got a logo made, I didn't know what I was doing, I put a theme together, I picked a bunch of stuff, and by the time I landed in Florida, my site had already had like 5 sales, and I was like, no way, I fulfilled the orders, I was shocked. And at that moment, I realized that there was something really powerful here. And because I took that action right then and there, it allowed me to get home and get so excited about these sales that it propelled another action. And next thing you know, that store was actually the second fastest growing Shopify store of 2017. It went from 0 to $2 million in its first 60 days. Of course, there's a lot more work that went into it, but the only reason that there was even ever the opportunity to do that work is because I took action in the beginning, and I saw how things started coming in, and it was one excitement after another, one piece of momentum after another. So that's another point I want to make, is momentum. When you start getting momentum, you don't want to slow down, because starting back up is very hard again. Picture pushing a big rock, right? Once it's moving, you can keep pushing it, but getting it started is really hard. So you guys are in an opportunity right now where you just watch something, and I believe that you have the confidence that dropshipping is something really powerful. You have some momentum right now, and you want to keep rolling with that momentum. You want to take this momentum, put it into the next thing, get your site built, get your ads running, and then you're gonna get a sale or 2 sales or maybe 10 add to carts and no sales. And either way, that's momentum. You wanna keep rolling with it, guys. So I guess the lesson here is that the difference between all the success in the world and 0 success at all is simply action, guys. And the difference between a lot of success and a little bit of success is rolling with momentum. So if I could encourage any of you guys to just take some action here, take what you learned and make immediate action. Don't let your brains, which are built on fear, guys. I mean, our brains are prehistoric. They were there originally to save us from freaking saber-toothed tigers. You know what I mean? So, they're there to tell us that things are scary and not to do them. And that's normal. But if you know, and what I just explained to you guys, that action is the difference between nothing and all the success in the world, this is the time to take action. I hope I can encourage at least one person to do so. And thank you so much for your time.